Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I post Monday through Saturday. And today in this video I'm going to do an updated top 10 books from my childhood. Now I do have an original top 10 books from my childhood video, which I'll link down below in the description box if you haven't seen it already. It's a pretty old video of mine, so I will link it down below if you want to see that. So I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I read during my childhood. And these are some different ones that I read when I was a kid. So I'm going to get started, and I do have some book reading videos of me reading these books, and if you want to see them, I'll link them down below, and I'm going to get started. So number one on my list had to be Sometimes I Wonder If Poodles Like Noodles. Now this is a pretty fun book. I love this book because it was super fun to read, because it was about a little girl who had kind of an imagination about things, and I love the fact that a lot of her little stories were like poems and stuff, which I love poetry. Even though I'm not very good at rhyming, I love listening to the poetry because some of her dreams were pretty silly, and I loved her little silly poems, and I thought it was really and I think they're really funny, and they're really like fun to read and stuff, and I think it's awesome. And I do have two videos up of me reading Sometimes I Wonder If Poodles Like Noodles, and if you want to see them, I'll link them down below in the description box if you haven't seen them already. Number two on my list would have to be I Like to Be. So I Like to Be is about this little girl who wants to be different things. Like she wants to either be small, she wants to be a monster, she wants to be a clock, like she wants to be this, she wants to be so many different things. So then she, because she thinks it'll make her life a lot easier for her than other things do, and I really like that and stuff. I love the fact that she will try to do things to make her life easier, or make others' lives easier, or help other people and stuff, and I think that's really cool. So I don't think I have a video of me reading this, but if I do, I will try to link it down below. Number three on my list had to be Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. The reason I like this book is because it tells about a boy named Alexander who has had a rough day, like from the very beginning, like he has gum in his hair, and his best friend is like mean to him and stuff, and he tries to find out how his day is going to get better, but it keeps end up getting worse and worse, which is pretty funny. Number four, and I do have a video of me reading that book, and I'll link it down below if you want to see that. Number four on my list have to be Is Your Mama a Llama? This is a pretty funny book because it's about this llama who asks questions to her friends about if their mamas are llamas, because she wants to find out what their mamas are, and like they're all different animals. Like a bat has a different mom than hers, or a cat, or let's say she asks a swan what her mom is, and I think that's pretty funny, and they all do their best to describe, and then she figures out what their mamas are by describing them. And funny story, my teacher actually used to ask me if my mom was a llama, and I thought that was pretty funny because of this book. And I do have a video of me reading Is Your Mama a Llama, and if you want to see that video, I will link it down below in the description box if you haven't seen it already. Number five on my list had to be Miss Spider's Tea Party. The reason I love Miss Spider's Tea Party because it's such a great book. It's one of my favorite books of my childhood. It's about this spider who wants to make friends. I'm sure you guys all know this story because you probably read the book. It's about this spider who wants to make friends, but nobody wants to be around her because they think she's really scary, or they don't like tea. But then they discover how nice she is and decide to join her, which I really like, and she becomes friends with all the other insects. Number six on my list, and I do have a video of me reading Miss Spider's Tea Party, which I'll also link down in the description box below if you haven't seen that already. Number six on my list had to be Miss Spider's Wedding. The reason I love Miss Spider's Wedding, which is a sequel to Miss Spider's Tea Party for those who didn't know, is because it's a great story about a Miss Spider who falls in love with the other spider named Holly, and they spend so much time together and have a lot of fun learning about each other and getting to know each other and stuff. And then she has and her other friends don't really like, one of her other friends don't like the guy she's dating, and they try to set her up with another spider who's very evil, and I don't like that. But one thing I love about this book is I love the fact that Miss Spider has a love for Holly, and she rejects the other spider who's a jerk. And I do have a video up of me reading Miss Spider's Wedding, which I'll also link down below if you haven't seen already. Number 7 on our list has to be The Tale of Peter Rabbit. This is another one of my favorite books. I used to read this book all the time when I was a kid. And I remember having a book on tape of it when I was little. And I love this fact it's about a rabbit in a blue jacket, and I love that story so much. It was just my favorite book of my childhood. I used to read it all the time when I was really little. And I remember my teacher reading it too, and I even saw the movie to it too, and I loved it. And I do have a video of me reading Peter, and I love this one because bunnies are my favorite animal. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that because I've mentioned it so many times. And I do have a video of me reading Peter Rabbit, which I'll also link down below if you haven't seen that video. Number 8 on my list had to be The Little Engine That Could. One thing I love about this, even though it's a really small train, it's about a really small train who think he can't do anything. He tries, she tries to be positive and think that she can do it, and help carry a group of toys to a city for a group of boys and girls. And at first she thinks she can't do it, but then she thinks to herself positively that she can do it and take all the toys to a nice home, which I really, really like. And I love the fact that she has a lot of faith in herself and takes the toys to a bunch of nice homes for children. Number 9 on my list had to be The Ugly Duckling. Now, I love this story. This is another one of my favorite stories. I love the story of The Ugly Duckling. I love the fact that it's about a duckling who a lot of people think is ugly, but they mistake it for a duck when it's actually a swan. I forgot the name for a baby swan is. If you guys remember, can you please let me know down in the comments below, because I forgot what it is. And it's actually a swan. It's not a duckling. First, one thing I like about that story is I like how at first they all think that the duckling is ugly, but then as the swan goes up, it turns into a beautiful swan, which I really, really like. Number 10 on my list should have to be The Secret Garden. This is another one of my favorite books. I love this book because The Secret Garden tells the story of a little girl who feels unloved, but because her parents didn't really want her when she was little. She was a kid, didn't want her at all. She felt like her parents didn't care about her, and they were so more into themselves rather than her. But then after her parents die, she goes to live with her uncle, who gives her a home that her parents never gave her. And she but her uncle and her son and her cousin have lost their relationship, and she brings her uncle and her cousin together through the garden, which I really, really like. Through a secret garden that she finds that belonged to her aunt who had passed away. And I like how she brings together this boy and her friend Dickon and her cousin and her uncle together, and I really like that she brings back the relationship. Okay, so those are my updated top 10 books from my childhood. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Monday through Saturday, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!